Welcome to the 2026 NCAA Super Regionals, presented by Capital One. Big day of softball, all 16 teams in action all day and all night long, and we're going to start out right here in Gainesville with the two-time national champion Florida Gators trying to get to the World Series for the 14th time, and for the new guys on the block, Texas Tech trying to go for a second year in a row. Mia Williams leading the way offensively for Texas Tech after she was a World Series player for the Gators last year. And her former team, led by Taylor Shoemaker, out in center field with plenty of power in her bat. We've already gotten underway in the Supers last night in Knoxville, Tennessee, taking game one. They hit 3 home runs. All-American Carlin Pickens, spectacular in the circle. So later this afternoon, Tennessee will try and become the first team to punch their ticket to Oklahoma City. Here's our side of the bracket, Florida and Texas Tech. It is best 2 out of 3 for a spot at the World Series, where they would open up against either Oklahoma or Mississippi State. And here's how things look on the other side. Nebraska and Oklahoma State had their game last night suspended due to weather, so they will go with their game one coming up later today. Hey everybody, and welcome to Gainesville. I'm Beth Mullins alongside our Olympic gold medalist Jessica Mendoza, Michelle Smith. The story all year long has been about offense all across the country. It continues into the Super Regional, guys. We've got 2 top 10 scoring teams with us today, and we'll start out with Florida and their big 3.
Yeah, this Florida team has been able to swing it all year long. They are top 10 in almost every major offensive category, and they get it done with Taylor Shoemaker at the top of the lineup. 18 home runs. She is just dynamic. And then you've got Jocelyn Erickson in the 2-hole, 20 home runs, a lot of power. Both of them swinging at over 400 batting average. And then Kenley Cahalan, who's been strong as well. She'll be in the 6-hole. This is a very lefty-heavy lineup. They can get it done, though. Look at the batting average, over 360. They put a lot of runs up on the board. Over 100 home runs, so it's a lot of power and average.
All right, we've also got some breaking news here in Gainesville. One of the faces of the game, superstar Nigeri Kennedy, does not get the start in the circle today. It will be Caitlin Terry, but for the Red Raiders, Jess, all year long, they've gotten great support from their lineup.
Yeah, it's been about the transfers coming in and that offensive punch that they bring. Jazzy Bruins out with the 17 home runs. Taylor Panel coming over from Tennessee. KT gets a start in the circle, but 470 batting average. She leads the team. And Mia Williams coming back to the University of Florida for the first time since the drama when she left last year.
All right, 79% of the Game 1 winners have a chance to move on to that Women's College World Series, and we have Game 1 coming up.
Welcome back to Gainesville. First up for Texas Tech is Mia Williams in a red uniform. She is stepping into a batter's box where she played in a Gator uniform just last year. It was a tumultuous transfer for Texas Tech, but now here she is leading this team and leading off today. Her numbers are much better this year, almost improving her hitting percentage by 100 points. She has been the heart and soul for the Red Raiders. But I was expecting drama, maybe boos. So far, every time they've introduced Mia, the fans have been terrific to her. She said, I can't worry about all of this. I got to stay focused on us and stick together with my teammates. As for Tim Walton, who lost this player, he said kids will transfer. There's no ill will, but we're going to stay focused on our dugout.
Thank you very much, Holly. And underway in game one, and Williams gets hit by the first pitch of the game from Keegan Rothrock, and immediately a base runner for the Red Raiders.
Wow. I think Rothrock was trying to get that rise ball in there, and it wasn't a plunk in the back, so I don't think there was anything.
I don't know. Mia Williams has that smile on her face at first, like she felt like it was intentional.
So that'll bring up Jackie Liss. Yeah, I guess the real drama, guys, is just the fact that Mia was in the leadoff and not Maya Davis, who for the last 4 years has been one of the best leadoff hitters in the country. But Jerry Glasgow says he wants Williams to get as many at-bats as she can during the game. So up to one for her for just a handful of times during the regular season. And so Jackie Liss will step in, the transfer from Southern Illinois, for the champions of the Big 12 during the regular season for the second year in a row. At 55-6, it's the most wins in the country this year, and for the second year in a row, they are enjoying their best season in terms of their record. Liss pops it up, and there's Kenley Cahalan at short, back on the grass, one down. So let's talk Keegan Rothrock. Her 35th start at 29-6, third in the country in wins. She also led the SEC in innings pitched.
Yeah, she has been a workhorse for this Gator team. Great control when she limits the free walks and gets that rise ball at the top of the zone. She's been outstanding this year.
Gators finished fourth in the SEC. They bowed out of the SEC tournament early, and then last weekend rolled through the regional against FAMU and Georgia Tech, with Rothrock throwing all but 2 innings. Jasmine Burns skies that one out to left. Townsend Thomas is there, 2 down. The Capital One starting lineup for Texas Tech, it's been prolific all year. It was again in the regionals. They scored at least 10 runs in all 3 of their games. Led by Williams with the 22 homers, the 77 RBI, and the 83 runs scored. And you see her swiping away. The love bugs could be an issue today in Gainesville. They are prolific all around Katie Seashole Presley Stadium today. And reports from native Floridians say this year has been extremely bad for the Bugs. With 2 outs, here's Taylor Pannell, the transfer from Tennessee. They have 3 new players this year that left World Series teams a year ago to join Texas Tech. All their former teams are also still alive in the Super Regionals. And of course for Tennessee, they could clinch the first spot in Oklahoma City later today with a win against Georgia, where Jerry Glasgow was once an assistant coach. Now in his second year with the Red Raiders, off of a trip not only to the World Series for the first time, but the Championship Series, falling to Texas last year. And the count goes 3-1 to Pannell. Double-digit home runs, one of 7 on the team. They've got 128 total, a new school record. And that is 2 free passes in the inning.
Well, that's really going to be the bugaboo for Rothrock. I mean, she's got to limit the free passes against a team that hits a lot of home runs, 128 on the year for Texas Tech. And if there's been one area that Rothrock has really struggled, it's been with the long ball. She's given up 27 home runs this year.
Rise ball pitcher. We've seen a lot of fly balls already as outs.
About 70% of the time. Of course, part of that, too, is all the innings that she pitches. About 50% for the Gators. We may not see a whole lot of their pitching staff this weekend if things are going well for Florida.
It's that time of year. You got to use your ace. She's got to be in the circle for all those big innings.
She is accustomed to throwing 3 days in a row if necessary. And her counterpart today in the circle, Caitlin Cherry, has been one of the best two-way players in the country this year. Big leap at the plate for her.
Absolutely, and you can see the way she's looking to attack that rise ball. Her hands in the on-deck circle were above her helmet. I mean, she is preparing a 70% rise ball pitch percentage out of the hand of Rothrock. Look at those hands.
And look at how open that stance is.
That's all Jerry Glasgow. I mean, this was not the stance you saw from Caitlin Terry. It's not the swing you saw from Caitlin Terry at UCLA. She was more short game. Now bringing in the power game, extra base hits because of this unique stance that Jerry's got her in. Both eyes on the pitcher.
7th best batting average in the country this year. Fouls another one off. She had a school record 24-game hit streak earlier this year after playing with UCLA at the World Series a year ago. Of course, last year and this year, they are shattering just about every school record at Texas Tech since Glasgow arrived, and they hit the portal with so much success.
And the biggest jump you'll see with Caitlin Terry, as you mentioned, Smitty's against the rise ball. So Keegan Rothrock, this matchup would have been a bad matchup for Terry a year ago. Now 150 points better against that pitch. She is facing the pitcher, so both eyes are on her, and then she'll square back up.
Boy, and Rothrock, I think, you know, it's a hot, humid day. She's really using that rosin. 93 degrees.
Yeah, she's not only using the rosin on her hand, Michelle, it's on her arm and her wrist because the sweat is pouring down her arm. Terry swats that one foul.
Yeah, and that's also why she has a sleeve on that arm. I used to do the same thing in very hot environments. I'd actually wear sleeves to keep the sweat from rolling into my palm. It's a lot when you're working hard to try to keep yourself dry and keep that pitching hand dry.
Couple on base, a hit batter and a walk, and an early opportunity for the Red Raiders in game 1. Another 2-strike pitch. Terry blasts that one to center. Shoemaker moving back and has room at the base of the wall to make the catch. A couple stranded. Gators picking up the bats when we come back. How about the Capital One starting lineup for the Florida Gators? And we highlight the two seniors trying to extend their careers another week and another trip to the Women's College World Series for Jocelyn Erickson and Kenley Cahalan. Also notable because they are two of the 6 left-handers in the lineup today to face Caitlin Terry at 24-1. She's top 10 in the country in ERA, whip, and strikeout to walk ratio.
Yeah, Caitlin Terry's been outstanding this year. You got 29 walks only in those 126 innings. And why? Because she just has the ability to move the ball all through the zone. It's a rise ball at the top of the zone. She'll attack both righties and lefties with that. A curveball she'll throw away from lefties, screwball away from righties to expand the zone. And, of course, the changeup. She likes to mix those speeds, dropping that down to about 50 miles an hour. She's just a complete athlete. You saw her. She can swing the bat, but it's that rise ball at the top of the zone and the curve and drop in the lower half of the zone to expand it.
And immediately a challenge against Taylor Shoemaker, who's one of the best leadoffs in the country. She's reached in 57 of 61 games. She has scored in 50 of 61 games. And you can see Shoemaker trying to swat the bugs away. That has become a story in Gainesville today. The love bugs are out in full force, and if you're familiar with Florida, you know how dicey they can be as pests.
Yeah. As a Floridian, I don't know if it's something you get used to. You just learn to deal with it and accept the fact that they're going to be around part of the year. This is a bad year, though.
Terry gets the swing and miss. One of the things that Jerry Glasgow said, we're going to find out with the rest of you guys, they have not played a ton of ranked opponents, whether you think that teams were dodging them or teams were just refusing to play them this year. This is their first top 10 foe since the second week of the season. And it is the first start of the year for Caitlin Terry against a top 10 foe. Jerry Glasgow told us, hey, we're going to have to rely on our experience from years past and our talent to try and pull us through in what can be a very difficult environment here in Florida, where the Gators have won 12 of 14 home super regionals.
And they've also learned to be the enemy. I mean, so many teams, so many places they go, not only do teams not want to play them, they do not like the fact that they got so many transfers.
Ooh, Terry thought she had strike 3 there, and the count goes full.
I think she did. That looked like it was over the plate.
As Nigeri Kennedy looks on, is available in relief. In all likelihood, the game 2 starter as well tomorrow. That game will be a 12:30 start on ABC. And then the, if necessary, game 3 on Sunday. What is bugging Holly Rowe right now, Holly?
Well, I can tell you that there is an absolute swarm down here, and it is an issue for players. I saw a lot of the players for Florida putting on bug spray, but I can tell you it's not working. I also tried to put some on, but they're landing all over me. Caitlin Terry was really bothered by it initially. I haven't seen the bugs like going in their face right now, but it is a problem.
Shoemaker had one fly into her face right before she came up for this at bat. And this is the part that you're worried about, is just more your eyesight. And the annoyance of the fact that they're everywhere.
Literally everywhere, even up here at the press box. They're not just at ground level.
No, they're coming at us too. 11th pitch of the at-bat right here. It's a good battle, Terry and Shoemaker. And she draws the walk. You know, she told us yesterday, part of my job is to see a lot of pitches and communicate with my teammates. Well, she saw a lot there.
Great at bat. She saw every single pitch that Caitlin Terry had. And remember, Terry, the advantage left on left. That's why, big reason why she got the start over Kennedy is her numbers against lefties. A very left-handed lineup for Florida.
And here's another one in the senior Jocelyn Erickson. 2 home runs shy of tying the single-season record held by Shoemaker last year and Brittany Schutte. Both teams with good speed, guys, but both teams also with really good catchers.
Yeah, Erickson typically really strong, even against that lefty-lefty matchup because she hits the inside pitch so well.
Erickson and Longy Quiroga, the two starting catchers today. Erickson, a part of the national team pool this summer for the United States. And the SEC Player of the Year a couple seasons ago, and she pops that one up back on the grass to make the catch is Haley Toney, one down.
And this game opens up the same way for both teams. Free pass, and then number 2 hitters both pop up to shortstop, non-productive outs. I think it's a little nerves. It's a little trying to get in that rhythm and figure out the opposing pitching.
Here's Ava Brown, the DP. First half of the season, she was a two-way stud for the Gators, and then a severe lower leg injury in February. She missed all of March and has come back only as a hitter, not in the circle. And a base hit for Brown will move Shoemaker into scoring position.
And this is a bit off the end of the bat, but she just gets enough of it. You see right there, 5-6 hole, not hit super hard, but perfect placement. Right past the third baseman, Taylor Panel.
And that's just a low rise ball that doesn't get up. Brown's able to capitalize on it.
So in the 4 spot is Townsend Thomas. Last year, Townsend was the most talented redshirt first base coach in America. And now out on the field this year for the Gators has been a huge addition.
How cool is that? If you're a redshirt freshman, to not just be in the dugout, but be actually out on the field coaching these players, something you rarely see.
Just missed the bag down the third baseline after she had pulled first and third in. There you see her as the first base coach for Kendra Walby for the Gators.
How cool is, I mean, I just love the perspective. And ironically, Kendra Falby is now the first base coach. So they've just switched places.
Swapped.
And she's fighting off the
Bug
bugs.
patrol.
Yeah.
First and third now move back. And Thomas pops it up, and Quiroga is there, 2 down. Big outs from Terry against a couple of the lefties. And now it's back to the right side with Kendall Grover.
Getting it on the hands. That's what we've seen both pitchers do. Rothrock did it to these Tech hitters, and now Caitlin Terry returning the favor.
Grover, 1 of 5 on the roster with double-digit home runs against Caitlin Terry, who in her career in the NCAA tournament, a lot of experience, 8-3 with a 2.13 ERA. That, of course, was with UCLA. Grover, same 5-6 hole. Shoemaker with good speed coming around, and she'll score easily. And the Gators go up 1-0. And it's the right-handers that get the hits.
And this is just a great job of being able to hunt a pitch, find the pitch. This is a rise ball that doesn't get all the way up. Beautiful job, similar to Ava Brown, but this one's a whole lot harder. Got it on the barrel, and Shoemaker, no doubt, with her speed coming around to get the Gators on the board. 1's up.
And the walk to Shoemaker after the 11-pitch at-bat proves costly, and she comes around to score. Kenley Cahalan, grounder to short, and they'll get the force at second. First run up on the board goes to Florida as we head to the second.
Texas Tech coach Jerry Glasgow is known for his unique ways of teaching, and he has done something this morning to help them get ready for the Rise Ball of Keegan Rothrock. He has brought out these boxes for the first time this season on the road, puts the batters on top of the box, and turns up their machine to a Rise Ball. He wants them to get their eye on the angle so that they can handle the angle of a sharp rise. He wants it to come in deep right to their elbow. So this was a unique way that they did this morning to get ready for Rothrock. And Jess, I know you're very interested in this teaching tool.
Yeah, Holly, and what I love about it is the fact that the hitters talk about then they see a regular Rise Ball from ground level, and it's like, oh man, not only do you pick up the spin so much easier, but then you understand the angle that you need to take. And that's something Jerry Glasgow has talked about all season long, because you face the #1 pitch in softball is that Rise Ball. Of course, a unique way to be able to handle that, Holly. And I love that that's part of Tech's play. He actually brought the boxes here to Gainesville.
Well, and again, Rothrock throws that Rise Ball 70% of the time. That's her primary pitch.
All right, let's see if it works. 6, 7, and 8 coming up. Maya Davis to lead things off in her 250th career game with that split grip. Oh, by the way, he doesn't just travel with the boxes. The whole machine, multiple machines usually hit the road with Texas Tech.
Well, that was part of the story. Last year, he drove them.
Now they got a guy. Jerry has passed that off to a guy who drives them.
Gave the keys to the truck to someone else.
Well, and if anyone's ever hit off those pitching machines, by the way, I mean, they are so nasty, dirty pitches that I tell you, like, the hitters are like, dang it, the pitching machines have to travel. But then you face anything else, and it seems easier.
Beth Mullins, Jessica Mendoza, Michelle Smith. 3 really good hitters up here providing this information, folks.
Beth, our leadoff hitter, that's
right.
for
Apparently
sure.
the leadoff. That's right.
Yeah, see that split grip that Maya Davis is going to go to, Beth, that you mentioned, that is actually what helps that top hand stay on top of the Rise Ball. She's going to the short game right now, which you don't see her do as much anymore.
Chop to short. Cahalan charges and gets her. Let's send it down to Holly Rowe.
Lauren Allred stepping up, and she's been red hot for Texas Tech. She is what they call the machine master. You talked about him driving these machines. She is the player on this team that has mastered those. They say she can handle every pitch off the machine. It's made her more confident at the plate. And in that big famous comeback, she got the leadoff hit in that inning when they were down 8, and she also got the grand slam coming all the way around. The machine master at work.
Yeah, she and Davis, who we just saw, came over from Louisiana with Jerry as she strikes that one out into right. So those two very familiar with the machines, and Lauren quite good at it. She had a nice regional, hit 500 last weekend.
Well, this is how you stay on top. You take a look at the Rise Ball she gets and that top hand. I'll tell you what, that's the box drill at work. Pounding that thing into the ground for a base hit.
Yeah, that's that low rise, trying to work from ahead early.
Rothrock now to face Haley Toney. Terrific freshman year at short. She is one of just a few that have stayed and held on to their starting jobs this year with all the All-American and All-Star transfers coming in. Had a great World Series last year, hit over 400 as a rookie.
I remember that opposite field home run she had in the regionals, and just a breakout for her.
Ground ball to short, bobbled by Cahalan, and everybody's safe. And the team with the 4th best fielding percentage in the nation this year has not been as sharp the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, this is a defense that is typically steady Eddie. That's a routine ball, probably thinking about, do I have the opportunity to get a double play here, and going to toss over to Comia, the second baseman, to get the lead run. But that's a play that has to be made. 10 errors in the last 10 games for Florida. So very uncharacteristic of one of the best defense in the country.
So that is already the 4th base runner, the first time through the batting order here for the Red Raiders.
Desiree
and down
Spearing.
at the bottom of the order for Longy Quiroga, already a pinch hitter here.
Yeah, and this is something that Jerry talked to us about yesterday, is Desiree Spearman, who sometimes gets the start in left field, and we're going to see this a whole lot this weekend. But he said she's great in that pinch hitting role, already using this opportunity here in the first.
Junior from El Paso, a career high with 48 RBI this year. Second inning in a row, they've got a chance. Spearman coming over from New Mexico State after a couple of years there, and a former Conference USA Player of the Year. Fouls that one off against Rothrock. For Keegan out there in the circle, 75 career wins. She is 1 win shy of back-to-back 30-win campaigns. Out to center, there's Shoemaker. 2 down. The only other back-to-back 30-game winners were studs: Chelsea Sakizi, Stacy Nelson, Hannah Rogers. And so it's back to the top of the order and the former Gator Mia Williams. Hit by a pitch. The very first pitch she saw today.
Now the boos coming a little bit more.
Yes.
The Gator cheers.
Friendly the first at-bat, and now not so much. First pitch, swinging, and Thomas on the run to make the catch. Second inning in a row, they leave a couple on base.
The NCAA Softball Super Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? And in part by new Sonic Refreshers. Live free, eat Sonic, and Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need.
Well, we got one of the softball blue bloods and one of the new kids on the block. Head-to-head, Tim Walton's Florida Gators. Back-to-back national championships in 2014 and 2015. And amongst active coaches, he is third right now in wins in the NCAA tournament behind Patty Gasso and Patrick Murphy. Very successful in the Supers at home. They're 12-2. The only team that's come in here to beat them, the Georgia Bulldogs, have done it twice. And for Tim, when we talked to him yesterday, he said postseason success is based on RISP, hitting with 2 strikes, hitting with 2 outs. Well, the Grover RBI single was a 2-out run batted in the first inning for a 1-0 lead for the Gators.
And if you look at those numbers for Florida, they improved in the postseason this year than even the regular season, something that has been a point of emphasis all year long, putting these players in those situations at practice so they're ready in a game.
7, 8, and 9 in the lineup for Florida, and both coaches are circling these three at the bottom. The productivity on paper certainly drops off here, so Terry's looking for a 1-2-3 inning. The Gators are hoping, hey, let's get a base runner maybe on here before our big hitters come back around at the top.
Well, yeah, and work her deep into counts, which already Walker's been able to do.
Walker sends that one towards the bullpen and into the screen.
And leveraged, understanding when you're in a 3-1 count, you're probably going to get something pretty good, especially when you're the leadoff in the inning. So you've got to be aggressive. You've got to go get that and take advantage and barrel it up. Those are the keys. And you do see the pitch. Don't foul it off. Hit it.
Walker does get him the base runner. One thing that these three at the bottom are good at is adding to the doubles total for Florida this year. They have set a new school record, and Walker, McClellan, and Comia all can hit gappers. Here's McClellan. Second straight inning, a leadoff walk for Florida.
Remember, Florida's second in the country in walks, just behind UCLA. Texas Tech is number 4, so they will take pitches. They understand the strike zone is smaller this year.
It really is amazing. I mean, to be in the 8-hole McClellan, and she's got 41 walks on the year, that's impressive.
Yeah. And know your role. I mean, your job is to roll this back up to the top of the lineup.
Yeah, 464 on-base percentage. I can guarantee you there's not a coach out there that doesn't care if you get on base with a hit or a walk.
Yeah. And Tim's son, Brooks, is their data guy, player development.
Director of player development.
Really good baseball player.
He's actually in the bullpen. That's what he's kind of been given the role of, former pitcher.
0-2. Takes ball 1. You know, we talked earlier about the poor strength of schedule for the Red Raiders.
Yep.
It is a really strong strength of schedule, obviously, for Florida playing in the SEC. They were confident. They've seen just about everything they need to see in terms of opposing pitchers as Terry gets her first strikeout, 1 down.
KT's got one of those rise balls that can really hop at the top of the zone. She uses it almost 50% of the time, and you can see she just puts that up in the eyeballs of Cassidy. She's going to swing through it. First strikeout of the game for Terry.
Comia lines to short, looking for the double play. They won't get it, so 2 outs. That's when they got their RBI in the first. How do they fare here with the leadoff Taylor Shoemaker coming up? Walked and scored a run.
This is the batter you want up to bat. There's so much power within this Florida lineup, but at the very top is their best hitter. We're seeing it for both lineups.
Hit 500 in the regional with 2 home runs.
What makes Shoemaker so good, too, is she is so quiet with her hands, with her body. She has such quick hands, so a lot of trust on letting that ball travel.
Just her sophomore year, but she has already hit a home run in half of her NCAA tournament and World Series games.
It's amazing.
7 in 14 appearances.
The fact that she's 2 runs away from Skylar Wallace, one of the best Gators to do it.
Got her to pop it up. Taylor Panel is there. Ends the inning. 1-0 Gators through 2. Yeah, Matt, they're trying to end, 5 years in a row of frustrating home losses in either a regional or a super regional. Is this the year they break through? Certainly the story there, as you guys were talking about in the studio, the Arkansas pitching and the Duke hitters are one of the teams that are in the 100 home run club.
Well, the ball flies in Fayetteville. A lot of long balls there.
About to get underway in Bogle Park. We got games, of course, all day long for you. Coming up next year on ESPN2 will be Oklahoma and Mississippi State. And then later tonight, top-seeded Alabama, second-seeded Texas, and the big hitters from UCLA all will open up in their game ones. Game 2's tomorrow, and then all the if necessaries on Sunday. Tennessee could punch a ticket later today if they beat Georgia. Jackie List leading things off. The transfer from Southern Illinois, where she broke all but one record of her Aunt Becky. She's probably home watching if she's not here in person.
Well, Aunt Becky's who taught her how to hit.
Yeah.
You see the no stride. She'll just kind of lift the heel up, put it back down. A very, very simple stance. Minimize movement.
And pops that one right back up the middle for Aunt Becky.
It's that simple stance, that minimal head movement. She's done her whole life. Allows her to get to this rise ball. I mean, literally without that head movement, just hands, barrel to ball. Look at the heel just come up, come right down, hands start and take her directly to that rise ball. That is a tough pitch to hit, almost out of the zone up. A beautiful job to get a leadoff hit here for Tech. And Becky would be proud.
Ryan Rothrock trying to get underneath the hands of the righties, not getting that call. Having to lower that, and that's part of the key for List, Burns, all of them, the righties. Make Rothrock bring that pitch down.
Jasmine Burns is the transfer from The Ohio State University, where she was a first-team All-American last year after hitting 25 home runs. She hit one in the regional last week, went 7 for 12. Just missed her inside.
Yeah, you look at the lineup for Tech, and there's only 3 players in this lineup that were on their team last year. This team is defined by transfers.
Jammed her. Cahalan with a chance. They'll get the force over to first. Got her, double play. And the Gators clean it up. 2 down.
Well, we talk about this defense for the Gators, and even though there have been some struggles as of late, this is where they're the best. This is their 25th double play of the year. Great setup by Cahalan over to Comia, taking her time, and then a bullet throw over to Walker at first. Good job, a little bit offline, but brings it in, and of course, Rothrock loving it. Big double play to start off this 3rd inning.
That wipes the slate clean for Taylor Panel. Facing Keegan Rothrock, familiar with one another from their days together in the SEC. Slow roller and got her. Kendall Grover makes the play. 1-0, Gators still in front.
There is nothing like the Women's College World Series.
We get underway Thursday, one of the best days of the whole year, the quadruple header, traditional to start out the Women's College World Series. We've been lucky enough, our crew, to be there for the last 20 years, and it is truly like nothing else. And this super regional weekend, there's your 2 brackets. We will send the 8 teams off. The overall #1 seed, Alabama, gets underway tonight at the Rhodes House against LSU. And you see how top-heavy the SEC is on those brackets. They're guaranteed at least 3 games, 3 teams in Oklahoma City, because they have 3 head-to-head matchups in the Super Regionals. Last year there were 5. That ties the record. Erickson, another first pitch swinging. That's been popular for both sides early on, 1 down.
Another fly ball. That's also been the theme for Florida right now, is a lot of fly ball outs. That rise ball for Caitlin Terry.
Yeah, well, think you've got 2 rise ball pitchers. You see something decent, they're trying to work from ahead, so it's a lower rise ball, so of course you're going to try to go get it.
That's a rarity for Jocelyn.
Yeah, she only swings about 10% of the time at the first pitch.
Oh, in the NCAA tournament. Here's Ava Brown, singled her first time up. Kendall Grover, the RBI single to score Taylor Shoemaker in the first inning, and that is the only run up so far. Since her return post-injury, she's hitting .321, and that includes hits now in 10 of her last 12 games for the Gators. And a called strike 3 as she gets punched out. That's the second for Caitlin. 2 down.
KT using all of her pitches today. Really been heavy with that rise ball in the top part of the zone. This is a screwball in the outer half. She likes to use that to righties specifically. Nice pitch, getting a little bit of bend, expanding that zone. Second strikeout for KT.
The reason I like her screw and her curveball, Smitty, is because everyone's expecting the rise. So when they see something up like that screwball, they think it's going to continue to go up. But instead, it either stays even or goes away to these righties. And that's when it's tough. It's tunneled as a rise ball, but it goes in a different direction.
Yeah, they're very, very similar spin. A little bit of difference in the body position at release.
Offensively, these 2 teams very similar, but both sides acknowledge if there is a difference, it's 2 really good pitchers for the Red Raiders. Keegan Rothrock probably going to have to throw a lot singularly for Florida to advance.
Yeah,
and so Tim Walton spent a lot of time getting ready for both Terry or Kennedy this week. Again, Nyjah not in the lineup today, anticipating she would be the starter in Game 2 tomorrow. Both of them, obviously, solid.
Yeah.
Top 10 in the country at ERA.
And I think also Caitlin Terry just being left-handed against this left-handed heavy Florida lineup. I mean, the numbers just a lot better, especially when it comes to the slug.
Inside to Thomas, and the count is 2-2. In foul territory, and that one will drop.
Tell you what, Caitlin Terry does such a good job of getting it on the hands. We talk about the pop flies, but a lot of it's just not allowing these Gator hitters to get extended. So well, they're getting jammed, they're getting cut off.
And to your point, Jess, all the pop flies off the lefty bats, they're all to the left side, which just shows they're spinning off the ball. They're not able to get through it.
Thomas, snagged by Panel, who goes up to get it. The web gem for the Red Raiders.
Well, this is all about positioning and getting up at the right time. Taylor Panel, perfect timing. A shot off the bat of Thomas. She's able to reel it in.
You're watching the NCAA Softball Super Regional presented by Capital One. We're here with the Gators head coach, Tim Walton. And Coach, so far your hitters, a lot of fly outs. What do you want to see them do a little bit differently attacking Caitlin Terry right now?
Yeah, I mean, obviously what she does with her ball, the late breaking away from the left-handers especially, just got to do a good job being able to see the strike and attack the ball out in front of the plate a little bit earlier. Otherwise, take the pitch that's breaking out of the zone. Just do a little bit better job of understanding kind of where the ball is going and be there on time.
Keegan Rothrock has been terrific so far. What stands out about how she's been pitching?
Yeah, just hasn't been too predictable so far. You know, we only got one pretty hard hit ball, but other than that, she's been able to change speeds, locations, use our defense. Had the one little miscue with the action play, but I think overall she's done a good job. Not too many free. We've given them 2 free passes already, but I think overall she's just doing a good job pounding the zone, changing speeds.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thanks. Go Gators.
All right, thank you very much, Holly and Coach Walton. 3 innings of work so far for Rothrock. The last 2, she's managed to keep the pitch count low, which will be critical for her, anticipating the Gators might need to use her all 3 days if it goes to a 3rd game. She has done that on a handful of occasions and has been quite successful at it.
Well, Beth, to your point, I mean, she's typically a strikeout pitcher. You would consider Rothrock getting, I would say, 6 to 7 strikeouts a game. She's probably not going to get them against a Texas Tech team that does not strike out much, just 148 on the year. Using her defense, it actually plays into her having to throw more, though.
She's got a tough one here in Caitlin Terry, one of the best hitters in this lineup.
Terry Cahalan tries to backhand it. Could not pick it clean. And it's another base runner for the Red Raiders.
The second error for Cahalan at shortstop. She's having a tough time over there. Tries to backhand it, I think, to get rid of it quicker, but you're going to see the spin on this ball. It coming off the left side, you see it spin away from her glove, which is why you got to try to get around that. Anytime a left-handed hitter hits the ball to the right of the shortstop, you know it's going to have that spin.
Here's Maya Davis. Grounded to short her first time up. This has been an issue early. Chances for the Red Raiders unable to capitalize. Base runners in 3 of the first 4 innings. And so far with runners on base, 0 for 7 with 4 lobs.
And with Maya Davis being a short gamer, her main priority is moving a runner right now. She'll hit away. We saw her go to the slap her last at bat. I'm surprised she's hitting away here, at least not thinking about the drag bunt.
Pulls that down the first baseline, a collision, and was a tag made as she runs into Walker. Terry heads over to third.
Call it foul.
I'm going to call that a foul ball.
And remember, it's where the ball is.
Walker almost kicks it back into fair territory. I
Ooh.
think she feels it foul, takes it from Davis.
Took a leg right to the head. She seems to be okay.
And that's a difficult play because you have that double first base, but when she's in the path, nowhere for Davis to go.
So Terry back to first, and it's a 2-2 count. Davis right at Shoemaker. One down. Hey, the Women's College World Series returns to Oklahoma City on Thursday. And we will be there live on ESPN for our quadruple header that gets underway at noon Eastern. All 8 teams in action. As the road to the Women's College World Series is almost reaching its conclusion. The Super Regional Weekend. 16 teams remain, down to 8. The Texas Longhorns, the defending national champs, beating Texas Tech in the finals in 3 games a year ago. Texas in action tonight against Arizona State, one of the 3 unseeded teams still alive. Allred singled her first time up. You mentioned how the strikeouts are so low for Texas Tech. She is one of 3 in the lineup with less than 10 on the year.
It's impressive.
As pitching coach Stephanie Van Brakel Prothro comes out to chat with Rothrock. Former SEC Pitcher of the Year at Alabama.
I think that's what's unusual is the amount of balls that Rothrock is throwing compared to strikes, just 7 off. Usually you want to see that number a lot lower, so been getting behind in more of these counts. We're seeing both pitchers struggle with that.
Well, it's that discipline by Texas Tech, not chasing out of the zone, not following that rise ball up.
Red Raiders have been so strong. I mean, they're in all likelihood going to set school records for home runs, which they already have, and then batting average, slug, runs scored, stolen bases, which they already have. And usually put the ball in play. And they are accustomed to scoring in bunches. They were 10 runs or better in each of their regional wins last week, a couple of 8-run innings.
Yeah, they put crooked numbers up.
Yeah.
I mean, that team on-base percentage of .485 coming in.
All red, and that one will drop.
Well, you saw the graphic before, 148 strikeouts in the season as a team that is the lowest of all Power 4 conferences. Yeah. And Lauren Allred, I mean, she only has 8 strikeouts. I mean, that is unbelievable. There's 2 on this team with single digit. Talk so much about the long ball. With the long ball comes a lot of Ks, and that's what we've seen go up, but not for Texas Tech.
Two-two pitch, and the count goes full.
And it's takes like that. I mean, that's a screwball off the plate, but it's enticing because it is close. That's a call that could happen, but it's definitely not a strike. And with 2 strikes, she takes it.
Called strike 3, and the throw down goes all the way out into center, and Shoemaker is there. And with 2 outs, a runner in scoring position.
Rothrock with a nice pitch on the outer half. This is a low screwball, and Erickson with the throw down. You see she almost hits Rothrock. Rothrock gets down, the throw is offline. Good job by Shoemaker out in the center, making sure she's backing up. Stolen base though for Terry. First strikeout for Rothrock.
And now it's Haley Toney. It's a rarity, too, to steal a base on Jocelyn Erickson. Only the 3rd of the season for opponents. 3rd time in 4 innings, a runner in scoring position. But they continue to struggle. 0 for 9 with a runner on base, 0 for 3 with a runner on second.
Well, Coach Jerry, he did talk about that they will run or they will hit and run a lot. And that was probably a hit and run type of a situation, even though it was a take on a screwball in the outer half.
And that's a fair ball down the line, and the Red Raiders will tie it up with a 2-out RBI of their own as Terry comes in to score.
You talked about it, Beth, the bottom of the order for both of these teams, and this is in the 8-hole for Haley Toney to be able to come through 2 outs. This has been a big thing for Tech, is to be able to come back from behind. She gets a pitch up in the zone, looks off speed, and just enough to keep this thing foul or fair past the glove of Madison Walker. This is all tied up.
And Toney now at second, so a chance here for Quiroga, who was already pinch hit for once back in the 2nd inning. So this is her first AB of the day. In just her 2nd start since returning from her leave of absence. She did not play in April. Was a pinch hitter and caught in the regional, was 0 for 2 with 3 walks.
Oh, and she's got a ton of power, too. She had 11 home runs in just the 62 at-bats she had before being out. 938 slugging percentage.
Yeah, this is more just about getting her back in rhythm at bats, back on time.
Transfer from Cal out of Los Angeles. Chance to put Texas Tech in front. Oh, 0-2 pitch misses in. Back to the top of the order next with Mia Williams on deck. By the way, Caitlin Terry coming in to score. That was the first free pass that they made Rothrock pay for, with a hit batter, a walk, and 2 errors. And they finally cash it in, courtesy of a stolen base, by the way, as well for Terry. And now the count full here. Full count. Quiroga off the glove of Cahalan, and the Red Raiders will take the lead as Toney motors around to score, and Longy slides into second safely.
How big is this at bat, too, with 2 strikes, 2 outs. Quiroga, who does not always get the start, another off the glove. This will go down as a hit, but Cahalan, a ball that she can get to, and another run comes in for Tech. Massive at bat. You see Comia trying to tag her as she's doing her dance, seeing if she brings her foot off the bag.
Yeah.
So the RBI double for Quiroga, and how about the bottom of the order here for Texas Tech? And now they will pass the bat to Mia Williams with another runner in scoring position. Williams hit by a pitch in the first and then left 2 stranded with a fly out in the second. Gets a hug from Jerry. Out of Windermere, Florida. Both of her parents, Florida star athletes. 2 years here with the Gators, where she was a 2nd-team All-American last year and played in the World Series with Florida. and has totally changed her swing with Jerry Glasgow this year.
Yeah, one of the biggest things she's talked about is just getting into her legs. She was so good last year, just all arms. Really utilizing her lower half to increase those power numbers and consistency.
Righty's moving off the plate.
Reached for it, and that'll scoot through, and another run will score. And some glove problems for the Gators infield on the left side as Quiroga comes in.
Well, this ball is just hit hard into the 5-6 hole. Cahalan, the shortstop's going to be going over, but you could tell that trying to come around that ball, but it's the jab. You could tell that Cahalan with her glove, look at the way she's going to jab at this ball, and it just keeps going off the end of her glove.
And really the fourth error for her.
Yes.
2 are going to go down in the books, but that's a ball that she absolutely at least needs to glove. It might end up being a hit because it's taken her to that 5-6 hole, but a hard hit ball by Mia Williams and another run for Tech.
3 straight RBI extra base hits, and Tech is up 3-1.
Yeah, you keep that on the infield, even if you don't get the out, like you said, Jess, you're not allowing a run to score.
Yeah.
With exit velos in the mid-60s.
Yeah, that exit velo needs to be gloved up. If it was in the mid-70s, I'd get it, but those are definitely balls that can be fielded cleanly.
Here's Jackie Liss. Singled her last time up. Seen her batting average increase by about 100 points this year. And the power is up too. She got 3 homers in her last 7 games. Enjoying a career year. Williams at second. After they were 0 for 9 with a runner on base, now 3 straight hits here in a 3-run 4th inning.
On all extra base hits, all doubles.
And all coming with 2 outs. And I do not see any bullpen activity right now for the Gators.
Well, you think about Rothrock right now, too. She just has the 1 strikeout, so not a lot of swing and miss. The 1 strikeout was looking also, so she's relying on this defense to get her out of this inning.
Boy, and Tech is more than happy to run up the pitch count as well. Here's Jasmine Burns. I mean, everywhere you turn in this batting order, you got a double-digit home run hitter. Hard hit and right at Comia. Damage done for the Red Raiders.
Well, we talked about it coming in. Texas Tech, top 3 in the country in every offensive category, showing it off with a lot of hard hit balls, getting it done with 2 outs, 3 runs, putting it on here in the 4th inning to take the lead.
You're watching the NCAA Softball Super Regionals presented by Capital One, here with Texas Tech head coach Jerry Glasgow. And Coach, I wanted to ask you about your decision to start Caitlin Terry today. You know, we think your ace is going to come out and throw, but Caitlin Terry has been a terrific matchup. Why?
She's just a tremendous pitcher. She's a great competitor. And I like that we have, if we win, we have Naja to close tomorrow. And if we're down 0-1, don't want to talk about that right now. But if we are, what better than have Naja come out? And Naja can go 2 days in a row easy. So I just thought it was a smart move. And KT's been absolutely phenomenal for us all year. Our kids play really well behind her. So they like her around the circle as well as Naja.
All right, so you wanted to be a little more conservative. You've got 127 stolen bases on the season, but you told us because how good their defense is, you might not steal bases. But that last inning got started with this steal from Caitlin Terry that came around to score. Why was that the moment to start being aggressive?
Well, it was actually a 3-2, so I thought if it was a strike, it'd be a hit and run, you know, and we took strike 3, so that turned into a stolen base. I got a lot of respect for Coach Walton. His defense is always like top in the country. He's a tremendous defensive coach. And so you look for opportunities like that where I can put the runner in motion, expecting on a 3-2 count, I at least get a ball in play. I really wasn't thinking about it being a stolen base.
All right, well, a win-win for you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Holly and Coach Glasgow. Well, the Red Raiders taking advantage of what is usually a stout defense, shaky for the Gators. And now the Red Raiders are up 3-1. Everything coming on 2 outs. And KT has been terrific thus far. Just the 1 run allowed in the first inning. And now she faces 5, 6, and 7. Kendall Grover has the RBI from that first inning with a single. The first of her NCAA tournament career in her 8th game played. Game 1, best of 3. But the team that wins game 1 almost always wins the Super Regional to advance to Oklahoma City. Hard hit foul. Florida, similar to Texas Tech, they are top 10 in home runs hit and runs scored, on pace for records in batting average, OB, and slug, if they can keep playing and get to the World Series. And it is a tough place to come in and knock them out in the postseason. Jerry wants to come out and chat with Terry.
He must have seen something, because this is not a pitching moment. He's talking to Caitlin Terry, and he's probably just...
Especially on a 3-2 count.
Yeah, most pitchers don't want a timeout right here, but he's definitely seen something. Wants to make sure his entire team knows. Can always be pitch calling something that's coming in from the dugout on the other side, making sure that they're changing it up.
And you see the 3 innings of work, letting the defense do it behind her. And a called strike 3 gets Grover. It's number 3 for KT, 1 down.
KT working that arm side of the plate. You see the way that she's going to spin this ball out. Has a little bit of bend, so that's a backdoor curveball. She's going to put it on the corner, run it back in. It looks like it's off the plate for a ball, but it bends back into the zone for strike 3.
Smitty, I see 3 different strikeout pitches for her.
Yeah.
And then first pitch swinging gets the ground out for Cahalan, quickly 2 down.
Yeah, KT has a lot of tools in that toolbox to be able to attack the zone, so she can mix speed. She goes rise ball up, but then she also expands the zone with a really good screwball, curveball on both sides of the plate. You got a lot to cover.
A lot of times when you're preparing for a pitcher, it's vertical or horizontal that you're preparing for, and with KT, it's both.
Here's Madison Walker, walked aptly enough her first time up.
Well, remember, the first inning was the righties that had success against her, so she's changing up the game plan instead of trying to come inside She's been using that backdoor curveball and the changeup.
Yeah, a little different look now, second time through the order.
Tighter zone. Trackman had it as a strike.
A pair of 20-game winners in the circle. Solid defensively. And at the plate, the only team in the country with 100 home runs and also 100 stolen bases. I mean, this team was built for one thing and one thing only, and that's to win a national championship.
And a little bit of cherry ball. I mean, he does the unexpected.
Walker living up to her surname for the second time.
It's definitely a tight zone. That's why we're seeing the free passes. These hitters are smart.
Here's Cassidy McClellan, struck out on a rise ball back in the second. So the first base runner in a bit after Terry had retired 8 straight. Still just a couple of hits for the Gators, and both of those coming in that first inning. From Ava Brown and from Kendall Grover. The big three so far, 0 for 5 with a walk for the Gators. Shoemaker, Erickson, and Cahalan.
Well, before that walk, a string of 8 consecutive outs recorded by Caitlin Terry. She goes on some rolls. She's tough. The Gators are still spinning, especially the lefties still spinning off those pitches. A lot of foul balls off to that left side.
Two. Swing and a miss.
Caitlin Terry with her 4th strikeout of the game. This one on the rise ball. She's been using all of her pitches effectively, but this rise at the top of the zone, great hop. Terry with 4 Ks.
Yeah, guys, there's a look at the 100 home run club with Duke being a part of that, as are the two teams here in Gainesville. 5 on that list active in the Super Regionals today, led by UCLA and Oklahoma, who have both broken the old record of 161 on their way to 200 for the season. And it is a new Gator in the circle. Keegan Rothrock out, Olivia Miller is in.
Miller, the lefty, does a good job of limiting free passes, pitch to contact. A lot of curveball out of the lefty's hand. She's got really good spin speed. So she's going to be mid-60s. It's that curveball again, over 70% of the time, and she's best when she keeps it at the knees, lower half of the zone, attacking, rolling those ground balls.
It's her 27th relief appearance with a sub-2 ERA. It's her first appearance of this NCAA tournament, after Rothrock threw every inning but 2 last weekend. 4, 5, and 6 coming up. Here's Taylor Panel. 0 for 1, a walk and a ground out. They'll try and add on to their 3-run 4th inning and a 3-1 lead here in Game 1, best of 3. Beth Moens, Jessica Mendoza, Michelle Smith, Holly Rowe with you. Got Oklahoma and Mississippi State coming up next. Bulldogs, one of 3 unseeded teams. Panel out to right. And Mississippi State, one of the 9 SEC schools in the final 16.
Love bug on this
Love bugs.
camera.
Hey, look away, kids. Unseeds, if you're curious, have reached the World Series 13 times under the new format that came into play in 2005. It's been a rarity. We got 6 former champs still in the field, including these Florida Gators. And with Arkansas playing Duke right now, they've just taken a 2-1 lead. They are one of 3, along with Mississippi State and UCF, trying to get to the World Series for the first time. Dakota Kennedy, the 2-run single for the Hogs. Terry back up the middle, and the flip and the throw is an errant one, and Florida lucky that did not go into the dugout. So Terry aboard with 1 down.
So this looks like a ground ball up the middle that Miller looks like she pulls back on. Comia is going to flip over to Cahalan, and this throw, they're very fortunate that's not out of play.
Yeah.
Could have been another error.
That was headed to the dugout, would have been second base.
Davis looking for some green grass, and she'll find it. And a couple aboard here for the Red Raiders with 1 down. Eight of the 9 in the batting order have now reached base today.
This Texas Tech offense just doing what they do. They don't strike out much. They take advantage and walk, do not chase a lot, and they've been timely. Consecutiveness, they hit back to back to back.
They've only had 1 swing and miss all game long. I mean, that's impressive. You put the ball in play, and we see the errors that have shown up. It doesn't always have to be the hard hits. Sometimes it's just putting pressure. This time of year, pressure is cranked up to its highest.
Well, and they have speed, just organic speed, you know, where they're getting down the base path quick. And I thought it was interesting, Coach Jerry Glasgow's comments to Holly Rowe. You know, he had Caitlin Terry steal with 2 outs, full count. It's not a typical hit and run type of situation.
Not
but
at all.
Yeah, but he had her going.
And they're putting pressure on. They've already had 11 base runners in the ball game. Allred looking to drive this one out, and she does, off the scoreboard for a 3-run home run. And Texas Tech putting on a show.
Well, you talked about Texas Tech and all the double-digit home runs throughout this lineup. How about Lauren Allred just entered the club? Went from 9 to 10 home runs. And what's impressive, all the hits in this inning, they've been pitches down in the zone. And Lauren Allred just takes this pitch that's down about thigh high and gets underneath it. Uses that back knee to lift this opposite field off the scoreboard. 3 more runs for Tech.
Well, this is where you think bringing in Miller is a good matchup because there's 4 righties in a row for Texas Tech, but every one of the lefties has hit Miller.
Here's another one, Haley Toney, and a fly ball out to left, 2 down. Allred, one of just a couple in the starting lineup that were at Texas Tech last year and is enjoying a huge postseason so far. Remember, she had the big grand slam against Ole Miss last week, hit 500 in the regional, and now another big pop from her bat today.
Well, Jess, you mentioned it. I mean, the double-digit home run hitters through this lineup, it's unbelievable. It's basically everybody but Mia Davis and Tony. It's crazy.
And they're right there.
Yeah.
Knocking on the door.
Yeah, Maya Davis has 9, Tony has 6. And Longy Quiroga will step in.
She was just getting her stuff on, so I don't know if he was going to go to a pinch hitter, decided to stick with Longy.
Well, he's already thinking about the future. You know, he wants Longy to get some more at-bats since she's returned from her leave in case they need her day in and day out in Oklahoma City if they reach it. Victoria Valdez, terrific catcher for them last year, does not hit it as well. But she may get the start tomorrow if Kennedy is the starter, which we expect.
Well, and to your point, this is a lineup that has had multiple different lineups, both offensively and defensively. They have so much talent, even just in the dugout.
Yeah. That's in 61 games, folks. 53 different batting orders.
What's amazing to me is the fielding line, 43 on the field. So when you talk about, okay, well, she's catching, well, there's also a couple of other catchers. There's a couple of different, yeah, it's just really crazy that so many different defensive configurations.
We sat down with the team yesterday, and they just started laughing. They're like, oh, we don't know till like 30 minutes before the game who's playing, but that's Jerry being Jerry. Like, we have no idea where we're hitting, who's catching, sometimes even who's pitching.
And they knew it was going to be competitive with all the transfers coming in. I mean, they had to earn their spot every day in the lineup. And for Jerry, he's got to keep a lot of folks happy that we're anticipating being full-time starters.
What I loved to hear, though, out of all of them was, you know what? It's okay. We trust Jerry. We trust our coach. And
Holly, what you got?
And guys, one of the reasons they trust him is he did not promise any of these transfers anything as far as playing time when they come in. They had to earn it on the field, earn their starting role. And he said it's pretty clear at practice. If they're doing well at practice, they know they're going to play and they're going to get a chance to start. If it's cloudy, I put people out there, give them opportunities. Everyone out here who's in those lineups have earned it.
And Holly, that wasn't easy in the beginning. It sounds like, oh yeah, we all support each other. I can come off the bench. Well, in the beginning, these were all superstars coming from different teams, expecting to play. It has definitely been a progress for them.
Well, expecting to play, but then also having enough playing time to be at your best. And there's some athletes that can play half-time and still be at their best. There's others that say, no, I need to be playing 80, 90, 100% of the time to be at my best. So it's a lot of different personalities.
Winning helps out a lot. When you're 55-6.
Yes.
Quiroga launches one way back over the scoreboard. Longy One of the farthest we've seen here at KSP Stadium, makes it 7-1.
And Lonnie gets all into this ball. She knows it from the second she finishes her swing. You have to remember she was away for a month trying to get her timing back. I'd say her timing is back for her 12th home run of the year. Just gets a pitch that is sweet right down the middle. She's all in it, and watch this. She knows it's gone. How about the bat flip as that ball leaves the yard?
I just love she carries the bat with her, then flips it over the scoreboard.
That thing went a mile over the scoreboard. Celebrate that one, Longy. All Red Raiders here on the road in game one. Back in a moment.
I'll break it down the swing. Quiroga getting down underneath this pitch and absolute annihilates this ball. Take your bat, flip it, hit it over the scoreboard, 263 feet. It's still going.
Wow. Look at that. Cleared it.
77.
The exit
off
velo.
the bat. Wow.
She jacked it. And as a result, a third pitcher now into the game for Florida, Caitlin Oxley, to face the top of the order. And if you're Texas Tech, you want to step on the gas right here. If you can grab a couple more runs, you're into run rule territory in the bottom half of the inning. Williams, the RBI doubled her last time up.
Oxley's got a lot of spin, a lot of different speeds. This is what they need right now. I think the biggest thing for Oxley is throwing strikes, not getting behind in the count.
Home runs number 129 and 130 this inning for Texas Tech. And if Jackie Liss hits one here, then the run rule does come into play.
Now hit Mia Williams twice.
Two different pitchers.
Second time's Williams hit by the pitch.
Jackie Liss, who rarely swings at a first pitch, likes to see that first one. An offensive explosion, a 3-run fourth and now a 4-run fifth. Fly ball, and on the run is Thomas to end the inning, but it's a doozy whopper for the Red Raiders.
Texas Tech, 130 home runs now on the season. Two more here for the bottom of the order. Lauren Allred with her 10th, and Longy Quiroga with a launch pad put them up 4 more runs.
A nice little back and forth slugfest going on at Bogle Park. Here in Gainesville, after Florida took a 1-0 lead in the first, the Red Raiders have come to life the last couple of innings, including a pair of home runs, and lead it 7-1 here, trying to take game one. Best 2 out of 3 for a spot at the World Series. Comia fouls that one back. It's 9 and then the top of the order. Just 2 hits for Florida, both in the first inning. Just a pair of walks since. They're only base runners. And Comia to short. Off the short hop by Tony with a nice scoop. 1 down.
Tony has such a good glove. The way she approaches the ball, moves to the ball, and the separation between the glove and her body, she just sets that. And then look how quick she's going to get this ball from glove to throwing hand, down at her waist, and a flip throw over to first. That is just outstanding fielding by Haley Tony.
And now for Florida, is this the last time you're going to get your top of the order to the plate? Shoemaker, 2 down. Hey, Monday on ESPN, catch some afternoon Major League Baseball. The Yankees and the Royals. You can watch the game streaming on the ESPN app as well. We will be en route to the Women's College World Series, which gets underway next Thursday with a quadruple header. Winner of this Super Regional would face the winner of the Norman Super Regional, which is Oklahoma and Mississippi State. The other seeded teams, higher seeded teams on this side of the bracket would be Texas and Tennessee. Some good arms, some good bats. 0-2 here to Erickson. And bounces away from Williams, and Erickson's going to take second. The throw, not in time. And Williams a little lackadaisical, not expecting Jocelyn to keep running.
Yeah, the mistake is going to happen, so this is going to go down as an error for Mia Williams, but it's the aftermath, the fact that she just takes her time. And how about Jocelyn Erickson? Out the gate, sees the hop ticket, and then now this is huge, taking second base when the ball was just only a couple feet from Mia Williams.
I think there's a conversation going on in the press box because the official scorer, I believe, is initially saying that's a double.
No, that's an error.
Yeah. Ava Brown with a runner in scoring position. A single and a strikeout, and now Jerry wants to come out and chat again. There's not much cooking out in the bullpen. Maybe there was between innings, but I mean, Caitlin Terry's only at 74 pitches, 76 now.
She's done a good job. There's 3 free passes, 3 walks.
Yeah. They did score that a double, by the way.
Oh, come on.
Smitty's going to run over and talk to somebody.
I am. As a pitcher, the pitcher needs to,
yeah.
you know.
You don't want that on the resume. Brown takes a look at a strike, 2-1. First chance with a runner in scoring position since that first inning. Brown sends one deep, way back, and that's out of here. And the Gators strike back with a home run of their own.
How big is that error from Mia Williams? It extended this inning. That was a 2-out error, puts a runner on base, allows Ava Brown to come up again. Her second hit of the game, and this one, a long one. Exactly what the Gators needed to respond to the 4-run spot put up in the last half inning. Pitch down in the zone. This is knee level, but Ava Brown just so smooth. Drives it out of the park for 2 more runs for the Gators.
Yeah, that's a curveball that Terry's trying to get underneath the hands. Ava Brown very good on that inner half.
Do they go back to back at the wall, and that one will go. Townsend Thomas. And here come the Gators.
How about back-to-back pitches for back-to-back Jacks? Townsend Thomas, the redshirt freshman. How about hitting out of the 4-hole? So Brown out of the 3-hole with the 2-run shot, and then Townsend Thomas coming up with her 6th home run of the year. That's a pitch on the outer half, a rise ball, and Terry knows it immediately. She gets underneath this ball and just elevates it out of the park.
Grover, that's a base hit. And Florida now peppering Caitlin Terry. And the inning extended by the error. And now Florida's making them pay.
And Nyjah Kennedy now warming up. That's Sam Lincoln on her left. Nyjah, who they were hoping to save for tomorrow's game, might have to get into this one.
The 2-time national champs making some noise here in the bottom of the 5th. 3 runs up after Tech put up 4 in the top half of the inning. 4 extra base hits on 4 pitches. And here's Kenley Cahalan, who can make up for a couple of errors earlier in the game.
Wow. They have been good the last 6 pitches, recovering.
Cahalan goes the opposite way. Holloman is there and makes the catch, but Florida making things interesting as we head to the 6th.
The NCAA Softball Super Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Well, we got a ball game now, 7-4, Texas Tech. 4 home runs for the two teams in that 5th inning. And it's the 11 seed right now over the 6 seed, trying to close out game 1 as we head to the 6th inning. And the visitors will step to the plate. 3, 4, and 5 coming up. And they are facing the 3rd Florida pitcher of the ballgame, Caitlin Oxley, the righty sophomore out of Bartow, Florida. Burns 0 for 3 today, including grounding into a DP. There's another well-struck ball out to left and a base hit to lead off. Let's send it to Holly Rowe.
Well, as you pointed out, Jasmine Burns, one of the best hitters on this Texas Tech team. She does something very interesting called visual edge training. 3 times a week for 15 minutes a day, she works on a computer with these goggles on that actually help her train her eye muscles and her ability to see different shapes and different colors. I think that's been really a good reason. We always say good eye at the plate, but you can actually improve your eye at the plate with visual training. That's something Jasmine's been doing.
Yeah, Holly, a lot of hitters really work on that ability to be able to read spins, locations through the zone.
Well, now the big question, too, for Florida is, can their bullpen come through here and keep the score as is? They have been so heavily reliant on Keegan Rothrock, the starter. Olivia Miller got knocked around a bit last inning, so Oxley, who is a former high school Florida Player of the Year, coming on. And a hit batter.
Well, and Beth, to your point, this is a Florida staff that relies on their defense. The defense has been shaky. I mean, that hurts them. As a staff, they have less strikeouts than innings pitched. So they don't have that power arm that's going to get themselves out of jams. They're going to rely on that defense. They've got to be steady. And they can't issue free passes, which they've done a lot of that.
7 of them today. One of them has come in to score. Here's Caitlin Terry. Reached on an error and did come in to score in the 4th, and then singled and scored in the 5th. As they continue to fight the love bugs. Sounded like a broken record, but a couple on base for the Red Raiders. I think it's been every inning but one so far.
A lot of traffic.
A lot of traffic.
They've had the 10 hits and the 7 free passes. That's a ton that have been able to get on base, and then the Raiders have taken advantage.
Well, and you have to remember a couple of those doubles in that 4th inning could have been called errors. So even though there's only 2 errors on the board, there were 2 others miscues that aren't showing up on paper.
And Texas Tech says, thank you very much. May I have another? Terry lifts that out to Thomas. 1 down. Maya Davis. Maya has now reached in 55 of their 62 games. Whew, not just some love bugs, but
pollen.
Pollen. You may have heard my sneeze from 3 microphones down. Sorry about that one. Whew. Maya now with 89 hits. She's 4 shy of her own school record set last year.
Maya Davis, not just a veteran Texas Tech, but veteran Jerry Glasgow, was with him at Louisiana Lafayette when he was coaching there. And then when he left, she went with him over to Texas Tech. No one knows him better.
Ground ball to short. Cahalan to second for 1. That's all they'll get. So runners on the corners with 2 down. And here's Lauren Allred, the home run hitter from the 5th. Hers a 3-run shot. And then a couple batters later, Longy Quiroga with the solo swat.
I always find those plays interesting that Cahalan chooses to go to second. A lot of that is also reading the play. Maya Davis is up. You're not going to turn a 6-4-3 double play with Davis in that box. So I think the question becomes, do you go to third to get the lead runner, take a little bit more pressure off your pitching, your pitcher?
The answer would be yes.
These are exactly, but those are little things that help you win championships.
Yes, yeah.
And they have to be addressed. You have to talk about those.
Well, you talked about 2 outs and the pressure on the offense, but you got to work on that on defense too. Hey, this isn't just a regular situation. This is postseason. Pressure's on. Where do you go? And have it be reactive.
Yeah.
Now we also have to watch Jerry Glasgow here, who lives for these kind of moments, a 1st and 3rd situation, try and wrestle another run up.
Even though you have a home run hitter up, but it is the 7, 8, 9 in the batting order.
Allred with the runner going from first. Davis will motor around and get to third as a run comes in to score. Logan Holloman is in to make it 8-4.
Well, and this is exactly what we were talking about, why you do have to go after lead runners. Look at where Kenley Cahalan, the shortstop, is playing, and then watch her break. She is breaking to the bag. That's a routine ground ball to to shortstop. That should be the 3rd out of the inning, but she's breaking to second base, so that routine ground ball out is now a base hit and another run up on the board for Texas Tech.
That was massive.
And here's Haley Toney. Again, the hit and run was on with Allred at first.
And that was great coaching to be able to call the steal, the hit and run, whatever it ended up being. But Cahalan also has to stay put. That's a lot of times you go right, left, right as a shortstop so that your right foot is down to then break towards second base, but where you don't vacate before the pitch is thrown.
Toney had an RBI double in the 4th and gets under that one. Disappointed in herself there. And Thomas has it, but another run up for Tech to the bottom of the 6th, up 4.
Big 5th inning for the long ball. It started off with Texas Tech. Lauren Allred in the bottom of this lineup in the 7-hole hits her 10th home run, and then Longy Quiroga over the scoreboard. 2 massive shots to get Tech going, and then the response coming from the Gators after the bat flip from Quiroga. Ava Brown responds, a 2-run shot in the bottom of the 5th, and Townsend Thomas comes back out attacking a rise ball. Back-to-back home runs on back-to-back pitches.
That was in that big 5th inning when the teams combined for the 4 home runs and 7 runs on the scoreboard. Tech adds another one in the 6th, so it's 8-4 Red Raiders trying to win game 1 of this best-of-3 Super Regional. Beth Mowens, Jessica Mendoza, Michelle Smith, Holly Rowe with you on the road to the Women's College World Series, which gets underway in less than a week. Super Regional action all day today, all day tomorrow. And if we're lucky and we love drama, we get all day on Sunday with winner-take-all game 3s. If you're looking for the Oklahoma-Mississippi State Game 1, they are getting underway on ESPNU. So pull up the old split screen. Got 3 games going on right now. Duke still leading Arkansas 3-2 in their Game 1 in Fayetteville. The 8-time national champion Sooners looking for a 9th for Patty Gasso, which would set a new record for coaches. They have never lost to Mississippi State, by the way, 11-0. And of course, head coach Sam Ricketts is a former Sooner.
Yeah.
Bringing Mississippi State back in there.
Mississippi State's pitching has stepped up over the last couple of weeks, yeah.
Going out to Oregon. Nyjah Kennedy still in the pen, warming up. She's been out there for an inning, and just the amount of pitches she's thrown in the pen, either get her in this game or sit her back down because they're going to need her tomorrow.
Walker launches one, and that is going to leave the yard off the roof of the bullpen. Solo shot is the 3rd one of the day for Florida, and they respond again.
3rd home run of the game for the Gators. We talked about the bottom of the order for Tech, but how about for these Gators? Madison Walker, who had 2 walks, her first 2 at bats, takes a rise ball, and this is the adjustment that she's made, is being able to attack this pitch, and once you get to that rise ball, off the roof there in left field.
So they pepper Terry for the 2nd inning in a row, the 3rd home run in the last 5 that have come to the plate. And where is Nyjah Kennedy?
Well, we're going to see a catching change as well. Victoria Valdez, who is her catcher, will also come into this game. They did not want Nyjah in this game in this series until tomorrow, but they are going to need it with all the long balls, someone to shut this door.
Jerry Glasgow told us yesterday he loves the chemistry between Kennedy and Valdez. They have become a good duo. And so here comes the former player of the year, the former pitcher of the year nationally, who's been at the World Series the last 3 seasons with 2 different schools and is trying to get the Red Raiders back again for the 2nd time.
Kennedy, she's the power pitcher that everybody talks about. It's that explosive rise ball up in the zone as well as a changeup. Those 2 pitches work hand in hand with each other, but she'll also expand the zone with that screwball curveball combination. But it's that rise at 49% of the time, the changeup up near 15% of the time, and using those velocities anywhere from low 50s up to 72 miles an hour.
So as Kennedy continues her warm-up pitches, there you see the bracket on the one side that we're on here with Florida and Texas Tech. Tennessee already up 1 game on Georgia. They have a chance to win later today to punch the first ticket to Oklahoma City. 0.96 ERA for her career, 2 wins away from 100. She's already a member of the 1,000 strikeout club.
Well, when we talked with her a little bit, too, we talked about the long ball this year. She's given up 15 home runs herself. It's been an offensive year, and it is affect all pitchers that have been in the circle.
So the pitcher, Caitlin Terry, will stay in the game out in left field as Kennedy gets set to go to work. And the first batter she faces, she hits the pinch hitter, Ella Wesolowski.
Pitch on the inner half, it looks like a rise ball, and it just comes into the hand, and Wesolowski, ooh, staring her down. It's getting spicy in Stillwater, Gainesville.
As good as Kennedy has been throughout her career, there have been some bumps in the road of late. The loss to Arizona State in the Big 12 championship right after she threw a perfect game against Baylor. And then 5 earned runs given up in that Ole Miss crazy game. That ties the most in a single game in her career. And yet she still got over 200 strikeouts with a sub-2 ERA and 20 wins on the season as a whole.
I'll bet the expectation is just so high. I mean, 2-time National Player of the Year, by far the best pitcher that we have seen in a long time. Not just the numbers, but the fierceness, the way she attacks batters. The numbers haven't been the same this year, but still very good. But the expectation is perfection.
Yep.
Strike everyone out. And remember, this is a year of the long ball. This is a year of offense, so everyone's numbers have gone up.
Yep. Florida threatening, down 3 here in the bottom of the 6th. Comia punches one out to left and a base hit, and that will bring the tying run to the plate with their single season home run leader from a year ago, Taylor Shoemaker, coming up. And looking for her first hit of the day.
And at some point, you have to believe this is the arm that Florida prepared for and expected to see in the circle at the start of this game.
An All-America showdown right here. A player that Tim Walton calls the alpha personality. Craves the big moments. Swing and a miss there, 1-2 for Shoemaker.
72 miles an hour. Nyjah bringing the velocity right now.
You can hear the grunt.
Change up, misses high, full count. Struck her out.
How about the reacts from Nyjah Kennedy? I mean, we know that she's got emotion, but she understood this matchup. She understood what she needed to make after throwing a changeup over her head, comes back to strike out the best hitter in this lineup.
Yeah, that's a great screwball and a full count situation against the lefty.
First out of the inning, and here comes Jocelyn Erickson. Reached on an error and scored in the 5th. Fouls that out of play.
Well, and that's where Kennedy likes to live against lefties, is on that arm side of the plate. She'll use that screwball, she'll use that rise ball, but that is the slug spot as a lefty hitter that you're looking to attack.
And if there is a home run hitter in the batting order who is due for one, it is her. 50 in her couple of seasons here, but just one in her last 17 games. Takes a look at strike two. There you see the numbers. 20 on the year. She has been their best two-out run producer on the season. And as Tim Walton told us yesterday, postseason success hinges on RISP, two-strike hitting, two-out hitting.
Here we are.
3 for 3, Smitty. And she strikes her out with the off-speed. 2 down.
Nyjah Kennedy, we talk about her rise ball and how good it is, the screwball expanding the zone, but it is this changeup that is knee buckling so far out in front of it. Look at the swing by Erickson, not being able to identify that pitch coming in at 54 miles an hour.
Set it down to Holly Rowe.
Well, you talked about Nyjah Kennedy's numbers may not be typical for her this season. It has been an offensive year in college softball. So her pitching coach, who she's having a conference with right here, Tara Archibald, actually pulled her aside, and they looked up pitching stats for some of the best pitchers around the country to prove a point. Everybody has got different numbers this year, Nyjah. It's not just you. This is a year of offensive players. The strike zone is smaller. And so Nyjah was like, okay, I'm going to take a deep breath. She said it had been a little hard psychologically, thinking like, what am I not doing? But really, it's just about the hitters and what's happening in the strike zone. So Nyjah feeling a little bit better. Tara Archibald breathing confidence into her pitcher as she's continuing to do right here.
Yeah, Tara, of course, also happens to be Jerry Glasgow's daughter. And great advice for Kennedy, because when you do look around, I mean, you know, you think of Jordy Fromm, you think of Carlin Pickens, you think of Kenzie Brown, you know, the numbers are just lower this year. And almost everybody points to the strike zone.
Yeah, walks are up, home runs are up.
Here's Ava Brown. Still with a chance to tie it with one swing for the Gators.
Oh, and Brown had that big 2-run home run her last at bat. A lot of power.
Brown gets a hold of one, drives it to deep, left, center, and it's out of here, and Florida ties it up with one swing. A 3-run blast off of Nyjah Kennedy, and Gainesville comes to life.
What a day for Ava Brown. Back-to-back at bats with back-to-back multi-home runs, and she gets a pitch left in that cookie zone. 3 more runs.
Ground out ends the inning, but not before the Gators erase the 6-run deficit from earlier in the game to tie it up.
Ladies, we got ourselves a ball game. Talk about the long ball, both sides. Texas Tech and now the Gators responding with a 3-run shot. Tie this game up here in the 6th inning.
Well, things have gotten sideways in a hurry here in Gainesville. Look at all the crooked numbers. Texas Tech once with a 7-1 advantage with a chance to put the Gators in run rule territory. And instead, Florida responds with 7 runs in the last 2 innings, 4 home runs, including one off of Nigeri Kennedy. And it's all even at 8 as we head to the 7th. And now Florida or Texas Tech may be just 3 outs away from taking the opener in the best-of-3 series. Nine, 1, and 2 due up for Texas Tech. On a day when the offenses have put a charge in Rothrock, Terry, and Kennedy.
Nobody's safe. That is the message.
That's been the message for the year.
6 combined home runs in about the last half hour. Even the Love Bugs have run for cover.
And I'm wondering how much rope Tim Walton gives Oxley if Keegan Rothrock comes back into this game.
And I think Keegan is up, Jess, with that in mind. Yep.
Tim Walton was very adamant. He pointed into the dugout and told Rothrock to go start warming up again right after that home run was hit.
And the go-ahead run aboard here for Texas Tech with the top of the order coming up, and it's Mia Williams.
Remember, it was Mia's error that started that big 5th inning for Florida. It was a 2-out error. It's kind of been the story. We talk about the long ball, but it's been the errors from both sides.
Have proven costly. And now what a moment for the former Gator. RBI double in the 3rd. She's been hit by a pitch twice by 2 different Florida pitchers. Tech has had the leadoff aboard in 5 of 7 innings, but only 1 of those has come in to score. And I think Tim Walton is buying a little time right now with one eye on Rothrock.
I think at some point she needs to come back in the game. You can't have your ace on the bench this late in the season, tied game.
Yeah, Mia might be the last batter.
Again, not a big deal for Rothrock to pitch multiple days in a row, multiple games in a weekend. And of course in softball, if you're new to the sport, welcome. And the re-entry rule's a lot less rigid than in baseball.
That's right.
So she can come back after starting the game today. Back to Mia Williams, facing Oxley. Williams, and it's too late. And that one clears the bullpen roof. And Mia Williams with a triumphant return to Gainesville and a 2-run shot for the late lead.
Mia Williams, after the timeout, she gets a changeup. And watch her lower half. This is the adjustment that she made. Not just being all arms, but it is her lower half that gets to this changeup and launches it over the batting cage in left field.
There was a moment there where they could have gone to Rothrock perhaps, and Williams jacks a 2-run shot, and it will be Leah Stevens instead. Big moment in this series, and it goes Texas Tech way.
Yeah, I thought there was possibility that we were going to see Rothrock back in that situation, especially after the leadoff walk to the number 9 hitter.
That is 2 home runs, guys, with an exit velo of better than 75 and better than 260 feet.
Yeah, and just to give you an idea, 65 miles an hour plus is a hard hit ball. So the fact that these are 12 miles an hour plus over that shows you how much they're rocketed.
Stevens is the freshman righty. Her 21st appearance at 5-2, and a lot of rise balls in her repertoire. Mia Williams mashes one, and a 2-run home run to make it 10-8. And now Tech is 3 outs away from winning the opener. 3 home runs on the day. All 10 runs batted in have been by extra bases. And Jerry makes his way back to the coach's box, strolling right across home plate. He is one of the characters in our game.
Lee almost threw that first pitch. It would have hit him. He's coming right across the plate.
Is, of course, a terrific story. He didn't get into coaching till he was in his 40s. He didn't become a head coach till he was 60 years old. He's had plenty of history here in Gainesville as a longtime assistant for Sweet Lou Harris-Champer at Georgia. Jackie List, does she send another one out? Shoemaker on the run, and she's got room out in left center.
Wow, and that's another changeup. Texas Tech has been hitting that pitch hard.
Softball fans may recall the Georgia dogpile here to beat Florida in the 2016 Super Regionals. Kaylee Puwailoa hit the home run. Jerry Glasgow is the assistant who recruited Puwailoa. And Georgia is the only opponent that has come in here and won a Super Regional. They did it twice. And now Jerry trying to do it with the Red Raiders. Here's Jasmine Burns. Single and a run scored. Everyone has reached base for Texas Tech today. And the bottom half of the lineup has been prolific. They have scored 8 of the 10 runs. So from top to bottom, potent.
Oh, you get 18 runs in one game. I mean, buckle up. That's what this game has been. And it was quiet early. Only 1 run scored through 3 innings, and then the fireworks started both sides.
Burns sends Shoemaker back to the track again. 2 down. Gators in the bottom of the 7th will have their 5, 6, and 7 batters coming up to face Nigeri Kennedy. One of those is the home run hitting Madison Walker, the first baseman.
Well, we really should state that this is the area where Texas Tech has the advantage on Florida, is just the depth of the pitching staff.
Panel. Another long fly ball. Thomas in foul grounds, got it. But Mia Williams with the go-ahead shot.
Coming back to Gainesville for the first time since she left last year and making an exclamation point, breaking the tie on the changeup.
Let's take a look at today's Capital One rewarding performance.
Oh, it's Mia Williams. She's got 3 RBIs, including a 2-run blast. Chuck the bat up in the air. That's the difference of this game. Been on base 4 times in this game, coming back to the team that she left, the Florida Gators, and that's what the story has been. 7 home runs between the 2 teams, accumulating for 17 runs, and that's just since the 4th inning. It has been all offense since then.
Again, the winner of Game 1 in a Super Regional advances to the World Series, about 80% of the time. It is significant to grab this first game. And Nigeri Kennedy will try and close it out.
The key is just to limit base runners, because the long ball clearly is a huge part of this game. You can give up a solo shot, but no one can be on base.
Grover, Cahalan, and Walker due up for Florida. 2 of the 3 have hits today.
For both of them, first time seeing Nyjah in the circle.
Nyjah faced 6 batters last inning, struck out a couple, but also hit a batter and gave up a 3-run homer. Hard struck down the line and fair. And the single to start things off for Grover. That's her 3rd hit. And now the game tying run to the plate, and Kenley Cahalan. 16 homers, 64 runs batted in on the season.
Oh, and this is a big opportunity for her. She's struggled defensively.
Hitless so far today, way back in the batter's box facing Kennedy. Has reached base in 21 straight games. A streak in jeopardy here.
A couple of really good pitches on the outer half by Nyjah.
Ahead 0-2. Couldn't get her to chase.
Really working that screwball away from Kenley.
That's something she's talked about this year, is trying to get the curveball into lefties. So not being as predictable with that pitch. A lot of lefties will get on the plate and hunt away.
This is outside, 2-2. With Walker on deck. Homered off of Caitlin Terry her last time up. Cahalan, trickled foul.
Gets around that off-speed pitch, coming in at 59 miles an hour.
They've already rallied from a 6-run deficit today, and now down a pair with the tying run at the plate and a 3-2 count.
And those were good takes, because remember the first 2 pitches in this at-bat were outside. Now being able to take the pitch, it's just a little bit more, leaving it out there.
And Nyjah Kennedy, since coming on, has now struck out Shoemaker, Erickson, and Cahalan, the big 3. I'll go down swinging.
Well, this is a great at-bat by Cahalan, but this was a better pitch by Nyjah Kennedy. Screwball down at the knees, and it just runs away from the bat.
2 outs away from winning Game 1. But the tying run comes to the plate again. Here's Walker. Walker, fly ball out to Allred. 2 down. Last chance for the Gators. And the tying run is Ella Wesolowski, the junior from Williamsville, New York. Kennedy misses low. And again. Two and one. Holds, 3 and 1. Fights that one off inside, and a full count, and the Gators up against it. Kennedy 1 strike away from winning game 1 of the best of 3 Super Regional. Infield pop up, and that'll do it. Texas Tech, courtesy of a Mia Williams 2-run home run in the top of the 7th, wins game 1 10-8.
How about this Tech offense? I mean, just coming to life in that 4th inning. They needed every run that they could get because the Gators responded. We've seen every pitcher come into this game. Tomorrow's game 2. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, and how about the Gators not giving up, down by 6 runs, getting late in the game, and they just bashed and battled. Yeah, the Gators, they need to be thinking, hey, we clean up the errors, we do a little bit better, we'll have an opportunity to possibly be in a different position tomorrow.
Game 2 tomorrow on ABC at 12:30 Eastern. A home run fest here in the opener, and a 10-8 win for Texas Tech over Florida. We got more Super Regional action coming up. Oklahoma and Mississippi State, with Tiffany Green and Aaron Miller on the call on the road to the Women's College World Series.